Hi, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
What would you like to talk about?
Yeah, I would like to talk about the Book of Mormon.
Okay. Are you a proponent of the Book of Mormon?
Yes. Well, that's what I'm calling, I guess, I have a lot of, theories about it, and I really like history, and I think that the Book of Mormon is pretty spot on, at least in certain parts. And I think if I could at least present those explanations, and if they are right, I think that we have a pretty good case for, best case scenario for me, that Jesus came to the Americas.
Okay. What would you like to start with? Let's start with one. What's a historical fact in the Book of Mormon regarding visits to the Americas that you believe you can demonstrate?
Yeah. So I guess throughout history, I don't know if you guys don't know, but in Mesoamerica, when the Spanish came, when they saw Cortez, they thought, oh, here's the God that our ancestors talked about that was going to come, aka Quetzalcoatl, right? They thought that Cortez was this white bearded God that came. So taking that historic fact that happened, we can just look at that as like, okay, yeah, that's something that a lot of cultures thought when. Same with Pizarro in Peru, and so on and so forth, all throughout the Americas. And we see a connection that they all thought the same thing, even though culturally they believe in different types of gods. But they all have something in common, that when they saw a white Spaniard that's bearded or shiny, I guess, because of their...
Whoa. Wait, I just want to stop you for a second. So you're saying that the evidence for Mormonism is that when white people came to the Americas, Native people in the Americas thought that they were gods because, God help me, they hadn't seen white people before and assumed that white people were gods. And I'm really hoping that this doesn't entail that you think Jesus was somehow white and came to America, and thus, since they saw Jesus and incorporated him as a god, that they would assume all white people were gods. Please, for the love of everything, tell me that's not the case.
No. So, I
really want you to spend time demonstrating the truth of the Book of Mormon, because of all the religions, this is the one of two that we can be most confident are absolute forgery bullshit. Joseph Smith was a con artist. There's no such thing as the language that he says he was. Sorry?
Yeah, he was.
Right. So the founder and the author, the guy who claimed to see the golden plates, the guy that claimed to transcribe them or to translate them, was a big old con artist. And there's no archaeological evidence supporting either the plates or what the plates say. So what's your case for Mormonism?
Yeah. So the Book of Mormon, going back to everything I just said, the Book of Mormon talks about these certain instances that happened, that there was this God, Jesus, whatever, that came to the Americas. And
the Book of Mormon says that, but the Book of Mormon also says that they built a submarine out of wood with magical rocks that glowed that they found on a mountain, and took that submarine to America. Like the Book of Mormon also says that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the Jaredites. I'm talking about...
But you know that can't be the case. Which is the story of how they initially got to the Americas, right?
What is the strongest evidence you have that the Book of Mormon is true?
Yes. So, the strongest evidence that I personally have would have to be...
Oh my God, get to it.
Ones. Yeah. Like I said, the historical stories that come from the people and also from the natives themselves and also from their enemies, which were the Spaniards also. They tell the same story, that when they came, they were treated as such, and the natives also tell the same.
Nothing that you've spoken since I shut up is remotely relevant to demonstrating the Book of Mormon's truth. The fact that different cultures interacted and tell similar stories about that interaction is expected.
How is that expected if they're different cultures, though they're not all the same?
They're reporting the story the same is expected. And the notion that similar cultures come up with similar solutions to similar problems
to come to a different continent and it's expected for them to think that they're gods already.
Okay, we're back to what is your argument that they thought that they were gods? Because I laid it out for you before, and it seems to me that you're saying that they thought that they were. 1 second, let me finish, please. It seems to me that you're saying that they thought that these people were gods because they had seen what you would say is a god before in Jesus, and that these people looked like Jesus. So they were assuming they were gods because the only person they'd ever seen that looked like them was a god. Is that what you're saying?
It was kind of wordy and I'm kind of forgetting, but I want to say yes. Essentially what I'm saying is that when
all these different cultures had an experience with a deity that looked like the white people that then came there. And because they saw these white people, these cultures assumed that they were gods because the only point of reference they had for white people was Jesus. Now, I really want you to think really long and hard about where Jesus came from for just a minute, because Jesus was a Palestinian Jew and in all likelihood was not white and looked absolutely nothing like those people.
And I agree. And I think it's more like symbolic, white meaning like purity, shining.
Oh, no, goodbye. See you later. Off you go. The end. That'll be the end of that for me. Nope.
Okay, well, I'm in complete disagreement with my co-host here because there is this notion not about the white race, but about white as a color, as light and those sorts of things. And so you can get there without it being a racist thing. I just think, well, no. I get it, not for Mormonism, but we can't get there. I mean, but in any case, there's no way he was going to demonstrate the truth of anything in Mormonism because of all the various religions that we interact with. Scientology and Mormonism are the two that are most obviously made up bullshit within, living memory, pretty much.
Yeah, no, sorry. We can agree to disagree on that, but I'm not going to talk about white meaning purity with a Mormon because I know what that means in that general context.